What's up, shipbuilders? Guess what? I made a mod. We've built a lot of iconic overpowered ships together, but I understand that for many of you, there simply isn't the time to invest in upgrading your character far enough or earning enough credits to be able to build all of these ships. So even if you wanted to, it simply isn't feasible to try them all. Well, now you can. I've created a majority of my ship builds in the creation kit and released them as a mod for you to download and add to your fleet. They're all still plain vanilla builds. They aren't using glitches, nor are they using other mods, so you can use them as is or use them as a foundation to modify and build on further. To acquire them, I've tried to make it as simple and easy as possible. You see, when trying to add ships to vendors in the game, in my testing, a ship vendor's ship stock appears to be set once you've visited them. So, for example, if I wanted to add a ship to the new Atlantis ship technician's inventory, you'd have to likely create an entirely new game in order for it to appear, which isn't a good solution. So to get around this, I decided to add these ships to your Outpost Landing Pad vendor, which will only require you to build a new Outpost Landing Pad in order to get a refresh stock of ships for sale there. Now, there's another complication, and that's that the cost of the ships appear to be tied to the value of each specific ship module. I could be wrong about this, but I wasn't able to find an easy way to modify the cost of each ship, and some of these are quite expensive, approaching 1,000,000 credits in some cases. So in order to get around that, I created a small little loot box, and in order to avoid conflicts with other mods placing storage boxes in the lodge, I placed this one in the UC distribution in the commercial district of New Atlantis. That's also because, as I mentioned in a prior video, I don't own a PC, so I'm still renting a cheap underpowered one in the cloud, and it really struggles to load the game in the creation kit's render window, but interior spaces are a bit easier. So UC distribution it is. So to use this mod, if you don't already have the resources and credits, just load it up, head over to the commercial district in New Atlantis, and make your way to UC distribution. And again, you only need to do this if you don't have enough credits to buy these ships and or don't have the resources on hand to build an Outpost Landing Pad from scratch. Once inside, in the back of the store by the counter on the floor, is the box. And this will have exactly enough resources you need to build an Outpost Landing Pad. So 18 adaptive frames, 2 beryllium, 30 iron, and 2 zero wire is just what you need for an Outpost Landing Pad. Plus, it should have plenty of credits, near 10 million, give or take, for you to buy any and all of these ships. So again, maybe you don't need these, but at a minimum needed to make it easy for those of you that didn't have these resources to go ahead and get what you needed to buy whatever of these ships you might want. And then maybe a little extra, just in case. Then simply head out to anywhere you can or want to place an outpost. It can be just outside the city if you want. Put down an outpost and build a landing pad. And again, this has to be a brand new outpost. It can't be an existing outpost landing pad, just to ensure the ship stock will reset. So go ahead and place down an outpost and then switch over and build your landing pad. Anywhere is fine. Climb the stairs to the top, interact with the screen there, and you'll see these ships for sale. Now, as I mentioned, these are all still vanilla builds, but built with the best performing ship parts in the game. So there are no dependencies to other mods. You can buy these ships and then modify them further if you want. And so you're getting the Nighthawk, which is one of the first overpowered ships we built, the Bird of Prey, the Romulan Warbird, and the Enterprise, all from Star Trek. And again, all outfitted with the best parts possible. 2 versions of the Millennium Falcon, one with the SAL 6830 engines and a lot of cargo space, the other with the SA 4330s, so faster top speed but less cargo space. Getting the large C-class destroyer, the Mandalorian Kom'rk fighter, Mando's N1 Starfighter, Maul's Scimitar, Shin Hati's Fiend, it's a lightweight combat ship, Pelican from the Halo series, good for the Vanguard roleplay, and the Arwing, another lightweight fighter. And even with my bootstrapped PC setup and the numerous crashes trying to run the creation kit, it's been a blast seeing this work come to exist in the game. And if there's more you'd like to see, please let me know. There are already some great mods that provide a lot of new tools for shipbuilding without breaking the balance of the game, at least not too much. Now, I'm sure you're already familiar with the Avantech parts, some of which do provide some overpowered stats, but are still fun to build with. Same with Deratech, which actually provides stairs, and even more important, diagonal stairs. But there are a couple other mods that I particularly like. Better ship part flips and better ship part snaps. Both of these are by Rux616, and I like them for a couple reasons. First, they maintain the look and feel of the base game's shipbuilding. It looks like these parts fit in the world of Starfield because they're the same parts, just flipped in various ways or with new connection points. And second, these just open up so many possibilities for new builds or improving on current builds. So these just make it a lot of fun to build with. I mean, take a look at just some of the quick changes I made in about 5 minutes to the Enterprise, and then we're going to look at Shin's Fiend fighter as well, using some of these parts. So first, some of these Deratech parts with the diagonal stairs are great on the Enterprise. Really complete just the struts that we need to get out to the nacelles, plus now you can actually walk up to those habs and make those habs useful in the nacelles as well, which is great. And then I also threw on a couple M-class parts, a reactor and this Citadel shield generator, which their stats are just insane. Again, it kind of makes the game a little bit broken because you're so overpowered, but it's also fun for a time too. And then on the Fiend, it was always difficult to get the sides of those wings to be thin enough, but now with these new flips and connection points from Rux616, you can actually use these Deimos spines and extend them out to make just some nice thin shaped edges of those wings and still get a bunch of weapon mounts on them as well, which I think just looks really cool and clean. And then if you really wanted to go extra and kind of more or less break the balance of the game, I put some Avantech engines and replaced the SA4330 engines. These Avantech ones slot in where those SA4330s were, and you can stack one in front of the next, just like the SA4330s. But they have a cool glow to them, which is kind of fun, and their stats are kind of insane, so I was able to get a lot more cargo on this ship. Plus, the top speed of 200 is just unfair. Generally, I found that mods are still in the early stages. The better ones are yet to come, and a lot of what you see right now are just the quick and easy changes that make things completely overpowered, but basically break the balance of the game. Some of the other fun ones are ones that unlock M-class ship parts to build with, but the game struggles to load some of those. Some of the parts are actually bigger than entire ships in the game. But if you can get them to load, it can still be some fun to play with, and the reactors and shields and engines are ridiculously overpowered. The stats on some of those M-class parts are just insane, so it's a fun thing to play with, but in terms of gameplay, kind of just breaks the game in terms of balance, which can be fun for a time. But how about you? What sort of mods are you using specifically to shipbuilding, and what would you like to see? I've got a few ideas of my own for additional mods, but again, not sure that the PC that I'm working with will handle it, so we'll see if I continue down this road or not. So, is this the key to saving or sharing all our builds with one another via some form of blueprint? Not quite, but it is a way for me to quickly share these builds with you in an easier way. And again, I hope you enjoy them, and let me know what else you'd like to see next. And until next time, keep building.